have done the traditional techniques in detail, and under the discounting cash flow techniques or the modern techniques of capital budgeting, we have covered NPV, profitability index, and IRR. Now, out of all the techniques used in capital budgeting, the more popular or the most popular techniques are the NPV, that is the net present value, and IRR, the internal rate of return. Now, both these techniques have their own pros and cons. NPV being an absolute measure of wealth creation gives you the amount of wealth that is added to the firm in rupee terms for every project under consideration, whereas IRR is a relative term because it gives you answer in percentage as to what is the return you are getting from the project under consideration. Now, both NPV and IRR will give you the same results in most of the cases. In certain cases, let us see before we move to the conflict situation. Let's take an comparative analysis of NPV with IRR, seeing where the techniques give similar results. The first and foremost situation is the case of conventional outflows, conventional cash flows. So, what are conventional cash flows? Conventional cash flows are when an outflow at 0 point of time is followed by cash inflows. So, a project which has a single cash outflow followed by cash inflows over its life is known as a project with conventional cash flows. Under this kind of investment scenario, both NPV and IRR will give you the same result. The second case where NPV and IRR will give you the same results is the situation where the projects are independent of each other. That is, acceptance of one project does not mean the rejection of the other project. So, simple accept reject decisions where you are taking, you have series or number of projects under consideration and you have to take simple accept reject decisions. Their NPV and IRR will give you the same result. That is, as per NPV, you will select or accept all the good projects. Good projects means जहाँ पर NPV positive आएगा, you will accept all those projects where NPV is more than or equal to 0, and you will reject all those projects where NPV is negative. On the other hand, with respect to IRR, you accept the projects which have IRR more than or equal to the required rate of return, the cutoff rate, and reject the projects where IRR is lower than the cutoff point or the minimum required rate of return. So, till here, under the two situations, everything is good. Where does the problem arise? The problem basically arises when you have projects which are not fitting into these two situations. NPV and IRR are closely related to each other. Basically, IRR is the discount rate at which NPV is 0. So, if this curve is showing you the NPV of the firm, then at 0 point of time, this point is at 0. cash flow zero amount. This point is giving you the IRR of the firm. Above the IRR, NPV is positive. Below the IRR, NPV is negative. Okay. So NPV would be zero when the required rate of return is equal to the cost, the basically the internal rate of return, the return you are getting is equal to the cost of capital. So this is how we present the relationship between NPV and IRR graphically. Coming to the problem situations where you have different results with NPV and IRR techniques. Okay, now let's start the discussion on case by case basis. We start with the first case. When IRR is used to appraise non-conventional cash flows, it may give multiple IRR. Now, IRR as a technique is very frequently used, but the problem comes up when you have a project where the cash flows are non-conventional, matlab zero point of time there is a cash outflow followed by a cash inflow and then again there is a cash outflow. This stream of cash flows is non-conventional in nature, and here you may find the problem of multiple IRR. So you see there's an example on your screens. The cash outflow at zero point of time is 80,000 followed by a cash inflow of 5 lakh rupees at the end of first year and then again at the end of second year you have a cash outflow of 5 lakh rupees. Now when you calculate the IRR in this project you find that you will get 2 points where NPV is zero at 25% and at 400%. इसका मतलब जब आप डिस्काउंटिंग कर रहे हो at with 25% rate of return, then also you get NPV as zero. And with 400% as the rate of return, again you are getting NPV as zero. So you are basically getting two IRRs. One IRR is 25% and the other is 400%. Now, obviously, you will not be asked to manually solve such questions. Softwares are used there, but this is a case of dual IRR and hence a problem situation. Apart from this, we also find problems with IRR when we have to select between a lending and a borrowing project. Now, lending and borrowing, you can see the example here from the firm's point of view. From firm's perspective, you can have a project where you are investing money. That would be a lending project. So you have a cash outflow followed by cash inflow. Here you are lending money, and a borrowing project would be where, sorry, the I think I'm talking in reverse. So the other type is the second. First, let's have an example. Look at the examples, and then I'll explain again this concept to you. So here there is a with project P there is a cash outflow followed by a cash inflow. So this is a lending project from the firm's perspective. You are putting in some money in a proposal and you are getting return. On the other hand, project Q is a borrowing project. You have borrowed money, you have put in money in some project, and then through the returns from the project, you are paying the interest on the borrowing. So, this is again an example of non conventional cash flow. And here also you will get different decision as per NPV and IRR. You can see that as per NPV, project P is better, whereas with respect to IRR, project Q is better. So, IRR as a technique might raise problems when we have two such situations. The third problem scenario and the more common, more discussed problem scenario is when you have mutually exclusive projects. There comes the main problem of making decision with respect to the feasibility of the project on basis of NPV and IRR. Now, just to recap, mutually exclusive projects are where acceptance of one would automatically reject the other projects in question. Now, for example, say the government has come up with has invited tenders for say construction of a, a bridge, okay, or construction of a flyover. So now a number of companies have put in their tender, they have put in their bids. Now selection of one contractor here will automatically reject all others. This kind of situation is the case of mutually exclusive projects. In this situation, we accept only the best project. Okay. Now here the conflict between NPV and IRR might be under any of the three situations. One, when the projects have different cash flows, that is there is time disparities. Second, when there is size disparity, the cost of one project, that is the amount of investment in one project, is different from the other projects in question. And third is when the projects have unequal lives. So let us see each of these situations. We start with the size disparity. So you have project A and B. One has initial investment of 10,000, the other has initial investment of 50,000. So in this case, you might get difference when you are different conclusion when you are using NPV and IRR. So this situation can be addressed too by using the incremental approach. Can any one of you recall where did we use the incremental approach earlier? What is incremental? What do you mean by
Change over a,
yes, Pranath, please repeat.
change over a period.
Yes, change over a period or change over a base value. तो इंक्रीमेंटल कुछ याद है आपको इंक्रीमेंटल अप्रोच हमने कभी यूज करी है We were using the incremental approach when we were solving questions on replacement situations. That is where you had to replace an existing project with a new one. So there we were seeing what is the additional cash outflow and the incremental cash outflow basically, and the incremental cash flows over the existing project. Same approach is followed when we have size disparity or difference in the scale of investment. There we calculate the NPV and IRR then on incremental basis and see that we will get the same decision under both the situations, both the techniques. So there's an example on your screens. There were two projects, Project X and Project Y, mutually exclusive projects. Only one of the two can be selected by the firm. Now you can see that cash outflow of project X is only 16,000, whereas for Y it is 10 times at 1,60,000. When we simply calculate the NPV and IRR of both the projects on the regular basis, what we find is that the NPV is biased to the project having larger investment, that is project Y, and IRR is giving better ranking to प्रोजेक्ट एक्स. तो ये कौन सी सिचुएशन हो गई, ये कॉन्फ्लिक्ट सिचुएशन हो गई. what we do is we calculate the incremental cash flows, which is y minus x for the cash inflows and cash outflows. And I'll just zoom in a bit. You can see on the basis of incremental cash flows, when we calculate the NPV and IRR, this is what we get. We get the same decision. NPV is coming positive, IRR is also greater than the minimum required rate of return, which is 10%. So what do we conclude? That project Y should be chosen over project X because the incremental NPV and incremental IRR are giving the same decision. So size disparity, the cases of size disparity can be easily solved using the incremental approach. The second problem comes when we have a life disparity. Life disparity means that the economic life of the projects under question is different. So you have project A here where you have 1 year as the economic life of the project. You can see 25,000 of cash outflow is followed by 30,000 of cash inflow. And then you have project B where the life is 4 years, though in the initial 3 years there is zero cash inflow. And at the end of fourth year, you are having a positive cash flow. Now again, you see that the projects are giving you different decisions. As per NPV, project B is better, whereas as per IRR, project A is better. So what do we do in this situation? Now we have certain techniques to solve this scenario. We use the equivalent annual benefit method or equivalent annual cost method to address this problem. So what I'll do is, because this case involves practical. Let me complete the theoretical part of the concept first, and then I'll come to this situation of life disparity, and we'll take up practical part of this concept, and then things would be easier to understand. Let me first move to the last problem situation, which is the time disparity. Now, what do we mean by time disparity? We are basically talking about the pattern of benefits among the mutually exclusive projects. Now, even when the projects have initial cash outflow as same, you find that their NPV and IRR are giving you different rankings. Now, in case of project X, you have a different stream of cash inflows, and for Y, you have again a different stream of cash inflows. NPV is giving you Y as the better ranked project, whereas IRR is giving you X as the better ranked project. Here again, you can solve the question on the basis of incremental cash flows, and you will get one fixed ranking, one fixed decision as per both NPV and IRR. What is important to understand here is that the difference between NPV and IRR is coming up because of the reinvestment rate assumption. Reinvestment rate assumption. Now, what is reinvestment rate assumption? According to this assumption, all the intermediate cash flows of a project are reinvested at the discount rate as per NPV. Let me complete this statement and then I'll explain you. But under IRR, we say that all the intermediate cash flows are reinvested at IRR. What I'll do is I'll use this example of project Y. For project Y, you have a cash outflow of 16,000 followed by three cash inflows. Now, as per NPV, intermediate cash inflows means cash inflow 1 and cash inflow 2. When the company receives these cash flows, they are reinvested. Compounding होती है cash flows की, ये reinvest हो जाते हैं, and both these cash inflows will be reinvested at the minimum required rate of return, that is 10%. So reinvestment rate assumption under NPV is that the intermediate cash flows are reinvested at the minimum discount rate. The assumption, reinvestment rate assumption for IRR is different. It says that both these cash inflows will be reinvested at the IRR of the project, that is 19%. दोनों टेक्निक्स में जो रीइन्वेस्टमेंट रेट assumption है वो अलग है, इस वजह से दोनों में कॉन्फ्लिक्ट आता है when there is a time disparity in case of competing projects, in case of mutually exclusive projects. So what do? We finally conclude that On these basis of the reasoning given for conflict situations, IRR has some flaws and NPV turns out to be a better technique because of this, especially because of this reinvestment rate assumption. So all the competing projects, they have a uniform discount rate for evaluation. But when I talk about IRR, हर प्रोजेक्ट का IRR डिफरेंट है, हर प्रोजेक्ट का रीइन्वेस्टमेंट रेट डिफरेंट होगा, तो उसमें कंपैरेटिव एनालिसिस मुश्किल हो जाता है. So on the whole, when we conclude as to which of the two techniques is a better technique, we conclude that NPV, because of a uniform reinvestment rate, is a better technique as compared to IRR. So we stop here.